Hey guys! Welcome back to a Carson Games Extras. So, I just want to show you guys something that I've been working on over the past week or two. Now, on the desktop here, you can see CG Shell. This is because I made a shell application on Visual Studio in C#. Now, the reason why it's in a folder is because how I have this set up is that when you use certain commands in this app, it'll dump it to the same folder as the application. Now, I can change that later, but for now, this is just a demonstration of what it's in right now, the state that it's in right now. So, if we're going to run it, the first thing it's going to do is check for updates. Now, you'll see there's a new version available. We'll check that out later. So, first thing most people will do when they download an application like this, they'll type, help. So, help shows this text. Print whatever you want. Print. What would you like to be printed on the screen? Now, you can tell there's already a bug where that cone thing is supposed to be, the arrow is supposed to be the next line down. I gotta fix that. But let's say sub to me. Prints it out. Now, this is kind of useless since you can just type it out right there in the empty space, but whatever. Next thing down. No, CLS. Clears the terminal. Oh, the shell. Now, the yes command. Now, if any of you guys are familiar with Linux, you know what this command does. Well, I'll type it right here. That's what it does. You close out of it, reopen it. You can't close it out right now. So go back to the help here. Yes, ipconfig. Now I'm not going to be running that command for specific reasons, but what it does is right there. It shows you your local IP address. So ping. What IP would you like to ping? So let's just ping google.com. Success. Took 16 milliseconds, and that's just the IP to, that's Google's IP. Next command in this list. Exit. Pretty self-explanatory there. Color. Now there's 3 colors you can choose from, well 4 colors. Oh, let's type blue. Text is now blue. Next thing, download. Now this is one of these commands that will put a file right here in the same folder. So let's say you want to download a file. Well, for this demonstration, I'm going to download a website. Now, you can't just easily download every single website file. It would download the index.html file. So if we do http://carsongame.com, which is my website. What would you like the file to be? We'll call it index.html. HTML. Name copy of yourself. Oh, that is because I gotta do http://www.carsongame.com. Do index.html. Downloading file. There you go. 2 kilobytes. We'll open it up here. Go ahead and just use Microsoft Edge. There you go. Well, it's the basic stuff because it doesn't have the JavaScript applications and all that, but works. Roblox opens up the Roblox page. So there you go. Now the next thing is update. We'll get back to update later. Now you might be asking, now for those simple commands, why is the app almost a megabyte? Well, there's one more command that is not in the help that is in this console. So if we type in the GUI, there you go. There's a built-in GUI for this. Now this GUI it's not impressive. That's because it's nowhere near completion. So the basic stuff that you can do in here. Check for updates. Update found. Would you like to update now? We'll get back to updating this later. Now it says 1 in here. That's because I forgot to remove a thing for debugging, so I'll change that. See, as you can see, all the apps that run in the GUI will stay in this main window. So if you want to, you should be able to just extend this out. Or not. Well, okay, I gotta fix that. The control panel. Now, here you can change, the color of the background. So if you want it blue, you can make it blue, red, pink, orange. I can add a lot more colors to this. Now, what's cool about how this is set up is that if you were to exit the GUI, go back into it, it will stay the same color. Did it not change the color? Or give the color? There it goes. I don't know if it did last time. For me, it didn't look like it changed. Next, go to control panel. Main window style. Now this, here, let me extend this form a bit. There we go. Main windows. This is going to be the default theme you have for Windows. So if you have another theme for Windows, then it'll apply that to this. And in Blue Custom, this is the one I made. Now this window style is not completed at all yet. This is the most basic. So if we click it, you can see now, and let me change the background color to this red here. So you can see, now it's this. Now for right now, it doesn't touch any of these because I have to code that in. But just like the color, you can just relaunch it and it keeps the window style. So go ahead and maximize it if you wanted to. Now there's no drag to unstick or whatever it's called. You have to click minimize again, or the maximize button again. Now minimize is still broken as you minimize it. Oh, huh. I guess it works now. See, when I was testing it on a different computer, it wouldn't work, but I guess on here it's working now. Okay, now back to check for updates here. Checking for updates. Found. Would you like to update now? So how this update thing works is that I have a version file, which if you go to my GitHub page, you'll see that has a number in it. Now, the console app has its own text file, which has its own number. And if I upload a new one, it'll have a higher number than what the one that you have will be. So it'll compare those two numbers when it says checking for updates. If the server version's higher, no problem to update, and then it'll pull the new version down. If it's the same, or for somehow your version's greater than the server version, which I don't know how that would be, it'll say it's up to date. So let's go ahead and update. You can see it downloading update, and then finishing update. Now it's up to date. We'll go ahead and launch the GUI here. You can see it keeps your settings. Check for updates. No updates found because it's now up to date. Go to control panel, main Windows style, go back to Windows default. Oh no, yeah, Windows default. Background color, change it to white. You can see there's also a 24-hour clock up here. Now, in the future, I'll code in an option to switch it to a 12-hour clock or a 24-hour clock. For now, that's what it's coded in. Also, I'm going to add an apps feature up here, which will, you can be able to run apps from the console in here. So it's going to be basically GUI versions of the apps that are in the console. So you have a ping command, a ping thing, a download thing. And yeah. What's also good is that I also coded in something for check for updates here, which will be applied to every app, where if you try to launch more than one, it'll tell you in the console, app was already open. So you won't be able to open more than one unless it's closed. As soon as you close it, it'll open up again. Then it won't open again. Close it out, reopens. Now that's just using a number, a integer, where just every time you open it, it adds a 1, and if it equals 1, don't open it. And once it closes, it sets it at 0. And then when the GUI opens, it sets every value to 0. We launch it here. So if you see, if we go check for updates, close it out, reopen it, check for updates. Works just fine. So that's what I've been working on. Obviously, this is going to be updated a lot more than what it is now. And if you go to my GitHub page, that's on my website. Actually, yeah, if we go to the thing it downloaded, let's go ahead and re-download that. No, I guess not. Well, if you go to my GitHub page, it's called the Carson Game Shell that you guys can use. Now, here's an off-topic thing about Visual Studio and how it compiles things. When you get it from GitHub, or if you compile something that you use from Visual Studio, upload to GitHub, then download it, if you have an antivirus on your computer, it'll freak out. Like, I compiled a whole bunch of apps on Visual Studio, and my antivirus deleted every single exe file it made, thinking it was a virus. I don't get it. So you might get warnings saying, oh, this file is untrusted. Well, maybe I can find a way to digitally sign it so that it probably won't think it's a virus. So there's that. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy that little thing that I made. Like I said, you can download it from my GitHub page called Carson Game Shell. Now you will see 2 other files in there called updater and then version. It might not be there because I might move them. But that's how it updates the shell. It checks the version with the versions.txt, and it updates with the updater, where the console downloads the updater, and the updater downloads the new version of the console. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys either in a stream or another video.